Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbangers Kitchen. My name is Sahil, I'm a death metal musician. And I'm also the author of the recipe book called Keto Life. Welcome to my Keto for Beginners series where I take you by the hand and help you step by step on your keto journey by giving you a full week's meal plan. This is my 3 ingredient special to make your life even simpler. So you've got 3 ingredient recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner and a snack as well. So let's get on with the plan, and before I do that, please ladies and gentlemen, read the blog post on headbangerskitchen.com where I explain all the mechanics of keto and how you need to proceed with this meal plan. And before we get into the meal plan, I would just like to say thank you to Alex, to David, to Tanya, to Rocky, to Fiona, to Heather, to Julie, and to Mick and Cornelius. Thank you all for picking up my book. And if you have a copy of my book or you have some Headbangers Kitchen merchandise like t-shirts, please do send me your photographs wearing the t-shirts or holding the book. Send it to headbangerskitchen@gmail.com and I'd love to feature you in one of the future episodes. Anyway, back to the video. Alright, so on this meal plan for breakfast, you are going to be having some delicious keto pancakes made with almond flour, and it's a super simple recipe. For this recipe, you are going to need 2 eggs, almond flour and cinnamon. I am using 50 grams of almond flour, and if you want to use coconut flour instead, you will need to use only 20 grams of coconut flour. Now, if you don't like the flavor of cinnamon, you can use vanilla extract instead. I'm also going to be using stevia as my sweetener, but you can use any keto sweetener that you like. And remember, sweeteners are a pantry staple, so it doesn't count in the 3 ingredients. Now for this recipe, I'm going to be using my blender, but you can also just whisk everything by hand. So now into my blender go the eggs, then the almond flour, the cinnamon and the stevia finally. And then you just gotta blend it till everything is well incorporated. Now make sure that you scrape down the sides of the blender and you should have your pancake batter ready. Now to cook the pancakes, I'm going to get a small pancake pan on the stove and I'll melt some butter in that pan. Once the butter is melted and I've spread it around, I will pour in the pancake batter and then just let it cook on a low heat. Now I like to cover the pancake and cook it so that the top of it sets as well, so that when you flip it you don't have pancake batter flying everywhere. But of course you can cook your pancakes any way you like. This is just how I'm going to cook mine. And this recipe makes about 3 pancakes, 3 small pancakes that is. But you gotta remember, since it's almond flour, it's quite calorie dense. Like I think 100 grams of almond flour is about 579 calories. So it's better to eat fewer pancakes rather than to go nuts. But also don't forget that you can double or triple or quadruple this recipe and make the batter and store it in your fridge, and every morning you can make yourself fresh pancakes. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Cook those pancakes and once they are ready, well, they are ready. And I like to serve my pancakes with a nice knob of butter on top and then drizzle over my favorite keto syrup. Well, I only have one keto syrup, which is a Lakanto maple flavored syrup that was sent to me by my fans Robert and Nancy Boyer. So thank you both for sending me this. I'm still using it. Anyway, I guess that's it. Our pancakes, which make the perfect keto breakfast, are ready. And they look so good. Hoo yeah! So that was your breakfast, and for lunch you are going to be eating some Thai food. We are going to be making a 3 ingredient keto Thai curry with some chicken. It's going to be delicious. For this recipe, you are going to need chicken, Thai curry paste and some coconut cream. Now I'm using chicken legs without bone and without skin for this recipe, but you can use whatever chicken body parts you like. You can also make this with fish or beef or lamb or pork. You get the idea. And if you can't find coconut cream where you live, You can also use coconut milk, no problem. Coconut cream just has higher fat and is much richer and tastier. And finally, you can use either red Thai curry paste or green curry paste, it's up to you. And yes, you can use store-bought paste even if it has sugar in it. Don't let the keto police bully you about it, because 1 tablespoon of paste will only have 2 to 3 grams of carbs. And that's fine, it's not going to kick you out of keto. So go tell the keto police to take a hike. Now to make our curry, I'm going to get my wok on the stove and add in a tablespoon of that coconut cream and heat it up. Once it starts bubbling and frothing, we're going to add in our Thai curry paste and give everything a good mix. And now you just want to fry this out for a minute or two till the paste becomes fragrant and your kitchen is filled with amazing smells. Then in goes the chicken, and I will season it now very generously with salt. And then of course I'm going to give it all a good mix. Now you want to cook the chicken for about 4 to 5 minutes and really let all those flavors get to know each other. You can also cut gashes on the chicken for a deeper flavor. Also keep an eye on the wok and make sure that nothing is burning. If your paste is browning and sticking to the bottom, you can add some water to deglaze the wok. And then you continue to fry that chicken. We're really trying to get that chicken and curry paste to get to second base with each other. So let it cook, and once they've done the deed, then we add in our coconut cream. And then of course you give it a customary Headbangers Kitchen good mix. And oh yeah, look at that thick, rich and delicious coconut cream. It's a thing of beauty. Anyway, now just cover it, and you want to cook it on a low heat till the chicken is cooked all the way through. And just look at that. First we introduced the chicken to the curry paste, and now the situation has turned into a menage a trois with the coconut curry getting involved as well. And once your chicken is fully cooked through, your curry is pretty much done and ready. And man, oh man, that is one delicious looking curry. So serve yourself some in a bowl, and I just can't wait to dig into that. I'd recommend serving this with some cauliflower rice on the side, but you can also just eat it with a spoon. Anyway, our 3-ingredient keto Thai curry is ready. Now that curry should fill you up all the way till dinner, but if you're still feeling peckish, I've got a delicious keto tomato soup that you can have on those cold winter evenings, or on any evening in fact. For this recipe, you are going to need tomatoes, heavy cream, and a couple of cloves of garlic. The first thing I will do is preheat my brand new oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit. Then I'm going to chop my tomatoes. You want to just chop it right down the middle into halves. Not quarters, not slices, no funny business. Just chop it into halves. Then I'm going to add the chopped tomatoes to my baking tray, and I will also add in the garlic. I will season it all very generously with salt and some black pepper powder. You can of course use freshly cracked black pepper as well, no problem. And then of course a very healthy pouring of olive oil over everything. And then of course give it all a good mix. Now I've seen recipes where people roast the tomatoes skin side down, some people roast it skin side up. In my case, it doesn't matter. Some can be up, some can be down, some can even go round and round. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to pop that tray into my brand new oven now for about 50 minutes to roast. And then they shall just roast away in my brand new oven. Which, by the way, if you click on the I button on the top right hand corner of the screen, you can watch my unboxing and review video of the new oven. After 50 minutes, my tomatoes are roasted and ready to use. But let's just take a minute to appreciate how beautifully they have been roasted by my brand new oven. Oh yeah! Anyway, now it's time to transfer the tomatoes into my blender, and make sure you scrape everything out from the roasting tray. All the oil, all the roasted brown bits. If you need, put some hot water to deglaze the pan and get all those good bits into your blender. And then of course we're going to blend everything till it's a beautiful smooth consistency. Now I'm going to pour out the soup into a saucepan, but I'm going to make sure I run it through a strainer, because there are bits of skin and seeds that I don't want in my soup. We want a smooth and rich soup. And no, don't worry, you aren't taking out all the fiber or anything like that from the tomatoes. This is just the skin and seeds. And of course, if you want to eat the skin and seeds, by all means, don't strain your soup or just eat raw tomatoes. Anyway, I'm straining my soup, and once I'm done, I'm just left with those grisly bits that I don't really want, which you can discard now. Anyway, we're gonna turn the heat on now and let the soup warm up. Also, you want to check your soup for consistency, and since mine was quite thick, I added a bit of water to thin it out a little. And then of course I added in the heavy cream and I gave it all a good mix. Now once again, if you want your soup thinner, add more water. If you want it thicker, then leave it be. This is also a good time to taste the soup for seasoning, and mine needed some salt and some pepper. So I added that and I gave it one final good mix, and my roasted tomato soup is ready. Now just pour yourself a bowl of that soup and look at how rich and thick that is. Then you want to drizzle over some of that good quality olive oil as well, and maybe some freshly cracked black pepper for a peppery kick, and a few drops of heavy cream to make it look good for the photos. And that's it folks, our keto roasted tomato soup is ready. And it looks absolutely delicious. And once again, I want to bring your attention to the texture of the soup. Look at how rich and luscious it is. Anyway, that's your keto tomato soup for those cold winter evenings, ready for sipping. So that was your snack, and for dinner you are going to be having a delicious beef steak with some cream spinach. For this recipe, you are going to need beef steak, spinach and heavy cream. As usual, I am using water buffalo tenderloin, but you can use any cut of steak you like or any animal you like in fact. The first thing I'm going to do is season my steaks on both sides with salt and freshly ground black pepper. Once again, I need to clarify that this is water buffalo meat that is legal in India. You can use any cut of steak you like. I'd probably recommend a sirloin steak. By the way, do let me know your favorite cut of steak in the comments below. Anyway, once we're done seasoning the meat, it's time to cook it. To cook my steaks, I'm using a beautiful enamel cast iron pan, but you can use your regular cast iron pan or even a non-stick, but I'd obviously recommend the cast iron for steaks over a non-stick any given day. I'm also heating up some avocado oil which has a high smoke point, and you can use any keto approved cooking fat. Once the oil is smoking hot, it's time to put in those steaks. And now you gotta cook them the way you like to eat them. That could be rare, medium rare, well done. It's completely up to you. I generally like mine on the side of medium. What about you? Anyway, now it's time to flip those steaks, and hoo yeah, look at that beautiful caramelization on the meat. Now I'm going to add some butter into the pan, about a tablespoon. And of course, if you want to flavor your steak and you aren't limited to 3 ingredients, this is the time you also add in stuff like garlic and rosemary, and then you want to baste the steaks with the butter, and it's gonna taste so good. Now honestly, everyone has their own way of cooking steaks. Some people will say don't touch the steak or flip it more than once. Someone else will say flip it every 30 seconds, but you cook it how you like to. You can use a meat thermometer to check if your steak is done for a more accurate cooking, or you can just go by touch and feel like I do. Now I also like to make sure that I sear the steaks on all sides. And since you can see that all my steaks are of different sizes, the cooking time will vary. The smaller one cooks faster, the bigger one takes longer. Anyway, I cooked my steaks to my liking, and now I've removed them from the pan. Now just look at all those delicious juices in the pan, the butter, the fond. We can't waste any of that. So in goes my spinach into the same pan. Now spinach is one of those foods that might look like a lot before you start cooking, but it basically shrinks as you cook it. So don't worry if the pan looks like it's overflowing with spinach, but that will all wilt down. So just cook your spinach till that happens. Now once it's wilted down, I'm going to season it with some salt and some fresh black pepper. Be generous with the pepper. I like that peppery kick in my cream spinach. And now we add in the heavy whipping cream. And you also want to add in any resting juices from the steak for a nice beefy flavor. And then of course give it all a good mix. Now once again cook this to your liking. Some people like to leave it more wet, others might prefer to dry it out a little bit. So cook that spinach, and when it's done, it's done. Now I'm going to plate up with that creamed spinach on the bottom of the plate. It's a nice bed for my steak. And then on goes the centerpiece of the dish, the water buffalo steak. Oh yeah! And you want to pour over any more resting juices left in the plate. And that's it folks, your simple keto meal of steak and creamed spinach is ready. Now of course I'm going to cut into the steak, because is there anything worse than a steak recipe video where the steak isn't cut into? I mean, this is the money shot. Oh hubba hubba, that's one perfectly cooked steak in my humble opinion. Anyway, steak and spinach, creamed spinach actually, done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your 3-ingredient keto meal plan for the week. As I said earlier, don't forget to read the blog post on headbangerskitchen.com. Now normally I recommend you eat these meals for 7 days, but if you feel that you will get bored, I have got other 3-ingredient meal plans which you can rotate these with. So click here on the I button to watch some more of my 3-ingredient recipes. Anyway, I think that's enough jibber jabber from me. I will see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Cheers and keep cooking. Hey folks, just want to let you know that we have some Headbangers Kitchen merchandise like this t-shirt that I'm wearing. Link to order it is in the video description box just below the video, or you might even see a merchandise shelf. Click there and order yourself some Headbangers Kitchen swag. Also, don't forget, I'm a musician. You can click here and listen to one of my songs. I also do some non-keto food content. Click here and watch one of those videos. Or if you just want some wholesome keto goodness, click here and watch another keto video. Ho ho!